yourself when the reality is a dream. Aren't you a dream for reality? We're all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all. Come in and join us for the moment we call now. Rise up, join in, raise the whole vibration.
Hello and welcome to the live stream of consciousness. That means, you know what that means. It means it's Thursday night. It's September 25th. Again, just the name we've given to this moment so that we can all experience it kind of collectively. And that's what the live stream of consciousness is. It's a collective experience. It's an intentional moment. We're all here. You made it. Thank you for being here. Good to see everybody. Ninja Kitty, always here from day one. Love to see you there. If you are here live, just type in hashtag live in the comments. That's a little bit of a poke to the algorithm saying, hey, Mike Zinn is live. Check him out. And hopefully it will spread the word and grow the community. I see a bunch of new people out there. What's up, Maggie Martin? What's up, Sylvie? Awesome. Welcome. I know I've been broadcasting a lot on the Sacred Spiral Network, which is an amazing network of people and love and information and community. And so if you're coming from over there, I appreciate you guys tuning in to that. And if you aren't coming from over there, you should check out what's going on over there. I do another show over there called Holding Space. And what I love, what brought me to the live stream of consciousness was just these relationships I was generating and these people that were coming into my life, these metaphysically gifted folks, all sorts of different metaphysical gifts that were speaking to me, all of these different gifts, Akashic readings, channeling, psychic mediumship, Reiki. It was all speaking to me, but it was kind of, it sounded like the same kind of voice, the same kind of frequency. And there is a part of all of those things that embody that frequency, which I believe is love. I believe that's the fabric of the universe, the fabric of consciousness, the fabric of existence, of what everything is. And I think that we are all different essences of that. And we're all here to be that. That's what we're here to do, is to be our own essence. And it's amazing once you start to kind of go on this journey and you connect all of these dots. At least for me, it was, I don't like to profess like, well, this is how it is, because it's different for everybody. It's supposed to be that way. We're all here to be a unique perspective of experiencing each other and ourselves and everything that is consciousness. How's that for an introduction babble? Pretty good. I just want to get on the same page. I'm excited because tonight I've been so busy doing so many things, so many great things. It's funny, when I listen to the theme song, I always focus in on a different line, right? Depending on what's going on in my life. And the line of, if am I dreaming or is this reality? I was like, wow, I am creating my own reality. If you've been tuning in to the stories and the things that have been going on, and it is like a dream. And that's amazing. It's amazing to feel it that way and enjoy it that way, not be afraid of it, to enjoy it. I see so many people filling up the room. I am super excited. I see Stasia Cherry out there. Stasia, why did I call you that? Stasia. Lynn Junot is out there. Wonderful. Jennifer Rose, of course, is out there and in here at the same time. She's in the back room getting ready to come on. Marie DC. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people, beautiful energy. I feel it. I feel all charged up. Let's take a moment, if you can. I don't know who participates in this, if this is just something that you guys let me do, and if that's the case, thank you for indulging me. But if not, if you do participate in it, it's a physiological and inspirational moment that I take on the show at the beginning to clear the space, sage the space sonically. So I've named my bowl Sage, and I clear the space sonically, and I take 3 breaths in and out. And when I breathe in all of the light and energy and love that I want to be. And when I breathe out, I push out all of the things that frustrated me today, all of the moments that I was like, because I'm human. And even though I've got a pretty good control of my energy and awareness, things happen, right? I have to exist in this collaborative universe that we've all created, and some of the energies are frustrating, and that's just a part of the spectrum. So let's let go of that for now and get together and kind of ground. I'm going to sage the space. We'll do 3 breaths in and out, and then we will start the show. So here we go with Sage. Breathing in. Breathing it out. Ooh, Sage, you're getting pretty loud there. Ooh. Breathing in. Wow, Sage. Pushing it out. Holy moly. Can you guys hear me? Sage is so loud right now. One last breath, breathing it in. Pushing it out. Wow. Sage got a little excited tonight. I think that was very loud. I don't know if you guys experienced that the same way I do. I know the microphone ducks out the sound a little bit, but that was pretty intense. And also, as always, a reminder of how amazing breathing is. It keeps us alive. It keeps us connected to our soul. I've heard people talk about the breath as the connection to consciousness, to the soul. So I just love doing that. Thank you, guys. Stasia loves that too. Thank you. All right, I'm not the only one. Anyway, so serious babble tonight. It's 9:07. I'm already way into the show. I didn't have a guest. I was talking about how busy life's been. I just became the official photographer for 5 different publications across Long Island. I'm super excited about that. I've been working with this digital marketing agency, Flying Point, and it's just been such an amazing experience with just these amazing high-end clients. I'm working on the website for the North Fork Breast Health Coalition, which is great. I love getting involved in work with purpose, right? Like working for organizations that are helping people. It's all kind of like that 1 degree of separation. It's like, that's what we're here for. What's up, Karina? Good to see you out there. Tim Lorenz out there reminding me before we get going that we do got a big Kickstarter going live tomorrow. Jesse was going to be my guest tonight and kind of was a bit busy getting it together. And he's got a Kickstarter coming out tomorrow with his Solfeggio Transmissions CD. We're going to probably talk to him next week about that. But the Kickstarter is going live tomorrow. So check it out. I did a lot of the artwork for that Kickstarter campaign. Which again is just a blessing. I'm so grateful to be able to do what I love, graphics and all of this kind of stuff for people who are in that same frequency, spiritual causes and all of that stuff. And Grace is saying congrats to you too, Grace. I watched your show. I was so happy to see you doing what you do back in the chair. So congratulations on your new show, Guided by Grace, on the Sacred Spiral Network. That was awesome. You were on fire tonight with your readings. So amazing. And this is, again, this is what I've been talking about, right? Creating your own reality. I've been just being me, just showing up as who I am, being excited about what I do. And these things happen, right? All of a sudden now I am named the photographer for these publications. And now the cover photo will say photo by Michael Zinn at the bottom. And I can smile. Not that I'm doing it for the, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God. The fanfare. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Anyway, let's get this party started. I see Jennifer Rose in the back. She's getting her makeup on. She's getting herself all pretty. A beautiful, beautiful soul. I would say I'm gonna even go as far to say the hardest working woman in these little broadcasts. She's got so many shows that she does. She's working with so many people. She's guests on shows. She's a guest on my show. She's always willing to come to this platform and connect and bring love and bring wisdom and just be there to transmit and to receive. So I'm super excited that she agreed to this spontaneous conversation about now and the moment. Welcome to the live stream once again, Jennifer Rose. What's happening?
Hey, Michael Zinn, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah,
Hi,
fanfare.
everybody.
I know they have like a new soundboard. I got to start getting used to that.
There's
And
nothing wrong with a little fanfare.
yeah, absolutely. No, exciting, good energy. Great to see you again always. Although I feel like we see each other like almost every day. I mean, I watch your broadcasts when they're on, and I know
Thank you.
you're always popping into my audience as well and sharing my stuff.
Yeah,
So um
yeah, we're all a good team.
yes, awesome. And Stasia
Hi,
says
Stacia.
Stasia. How do
She,
you like it to be pronounced? Actually, I never asked.
she's very
Stacia.
flexible. It's Stacia, but sometimes people call her Stacy. She's all good with it. So she's
Stacia.
very kind with
I
it.
got to
She
get it
doesn't.
in my head. There's so many
She,
new amazing people who show up, and I can't
yeah,
tell you. I know you always express appreciation, and I know Suri's always expressing appreciation. That's really what kind of runs this, right? Like that
yeah,
energy is what keeps it going, keeps me coming past, keeps me coming back to connect to the
yes,
live stream
yes,
of consciousness, which is
yes.
what I want to talk about. I've been really experiencing my life in this amazing ever existing moment of now, and it seems like so much easier to navigate, when you kind of perceive it that way and kind of focus on it that way, instead of other ways. Let's just put it that way. um
Yeah,
there's so much stimulation happening in the now that's kind of outside of this little bubble of love that you and I both live in. I mean, I know you live in that kind of energy, because you're aware and you're intentional about it, and I live in that kind of energy. But that doesn't mean I'm not aware of the other bubbles that are out there existing, in fear and anger, in these other frequencies that, and we've talked about this, that are a part of the spectrum, right? So you can't
yeah,
just be like, oh, we got to get rid of those frequencies. You know what I mean?
right.
It's not. I don't think it's a matter of that. It's a matter of perspective and taking a look back instead of focusing on a frequency and saying, oh, this bad. Just focus on the whole thing and say, oh, look how beautiful the big picture is. The whole spectrum.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hi,
So Ellie
Kelly.
Brickle is out there. Karina is out there.
Hi, Karina.
And Grace is happy to see you wearing your Wonder Woman
Hi,
bracelets.
Grace.
Dun, dun, dun. It's amazing to me. I've always been a big fan of the divine feminine energy, especially women like you and Kelly and Grace who are really kind of in touch with um the non-physical energies, right? And just this kind of open-minded idea of everything. um and
Yeah.
it's just so great to see that happening on the Sacred Spiral Network and to be involved with you guys, you ladies. um
Thank you.
it's great, and I look at you as you're all Wonder Woman, really in your own ways. You all shine so brightly, and I love the fact that Grace Grella, like, just through connection, right? Like, that's how Grace kind of found the Sacred Spiral Network. And
Hmm.
I was working with Grace on her show in the previous years, but I didn't have the same audience that the Sacred Spiral Network had to offer. And there was so much of that energy tonight in her audience. I was sitting here with a big smile on my face, like so happy for Grace to see her back in her element, doing what she does. Because
It was a great show. Yeah, it was a
you
great
can
show.
tell it's like
Yeah,
watching watching a choreographed swimmers, right? She's just swimming in her flow and doing her thing, and it's just such a beautiful
it's
thing.
beautiful. Yeah,
She's one of the people, I think, who helped me realize that I had this psychic fetish, right? That I just loved to be around psychics who are reading people, and just watching that exchange between a medium or some sort of reader and a sitter, right? That whole relationship to me is amazing. I love watching it because it happens so fast, right? And it develops very quickly, and it's a very intense moment of exchange of energy and information. So I'm babbling, but I wanted to talk to you about
yeah.
the power of now, the power of utilizing the power of now, in creating your own reality, right? Because I believe that we're both doing that. We're both, with these shows that we do, with our own essence, right? With the awareness of what our essence is about, and the intention of making it that way in our day-to-day lives and interactions. I think that gives us that power of now. So what are your thoughts on now? What is now?
What is now? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I just had a whole bunch of thoughts just like kind of come in and connect. And I'm like, how can I make it quick?
We
And
got an
you want
hour.
that
We
too.
got an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I took up
Well,
a bunch of minutes, but
no, it's all good. You're fabulous, and it's your show. And we were talking about grace, so I mean, you can't go wrong, right? Okay, so you know me, I'm in the infinity, and that's the bigness, and it's the grandness of it too. But there's kind of like we talked about in the last show that we did together. There's like the ones and the twos, the big one and the little one, right? So the little one also matters as much as the big one does as well. So the power of this moment as we experience time, whether time is an illusion or not, doesn't matter. This is what we're experiencing in this reality, and it matters, right? So what we do matters. I got a little something to read for you too with that too.
nice.
And um Suri and I were talking in a conversation together, kind of about the second awakening. There's a first awakening that brings you very much into the spiritual, and you realize your spirit, and you get so excited, and you're off in wonderland of finding the spiritual and seeking truth and trying all these different modalities out, right? And but then we have to ground it back into this reality, and there's this other awakening of realizing, like, yes, and we're still here, and what do we do with that,
Mhm.
right? We make this world a better place. We live our lives as best we can in alignment with our core self, with our soul, with the integrity of our values too. And we do that through all of that self work, right? Really getting to know thyself. So we know thyself just as we're taking in information. How does this make me know me better? Little Jennifer, right? Big Jennifer already knows everything. Little
Right,
Jennifer is learning as we go, right? Too.
right.
So when Big Jennifer and Little Jennifer come together, this is where the masculine and the feminine start to merge, right? Outward human experience is very masculine: build, create, do, make,
Mhm,
build, destroy, build again, all this kind of
mhm,
stuff, right?
mhm, mhm,
The
mhm.
feminine is very much of the creative flow and the symbolism and all the depth and the inward beauty and all that. And so when these things start to come together, the intuition and the doing, right, then you got some magic there, right? So we have the second awakening now as humans who have also awakened to our spiritual selves. And it's like that phrase, before awakening or before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After awakening, after enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So it's like making the world better. So and so it's like the words, the spiritual words and the concepts don't mean much if we're not doing something good with them here, right? Treating each other with more kindness and respect than we did before, more reverence for the world, more reverence for people, more reverence for the earth and the animals, right?
Yeah.
So it matters, right? Because it's really easy to take a bunch of words and say a bunch of fluffy things and kind of bypass like the stuff we still have to learn, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
we got to stay kind of like a little humble in the process and realize we're still learning, we're still taking in information, right? So now is now, and there's a flow to it, right? So staying in the flow. So I'm very busy like you, Michael, and congratulations on your photography.
Thank you.
You and I are both very, very busy, and it's very easy for me to get overwhelmed and start going, oh my God, right? And so I have a coach I work with, he's my person that helps me see any blind spots I haven't seen yet, right? And he's like, no, got to get back in your flow, because if you're in overwhelm, you're not in your flow anymore. So we talk about the sailboat versus the motorboat, right? So you motorboat out to sea, and then you're going to be on your sailboat. No matter how much is happening all at once, it's all going to get done, and your inbox will be full. When you pass on to spirit world, there will still be stuff to do in your inbox. It's never going to
I
be
love that.
empty.
I love that. I love that.
That's from I think there was a book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff, back from the 80s. And I think it was that author who talked about that your inbox is always going to be full. So we need to foster our connections with our family, with our friends, with our partners, with our community. We have to keep fostering those connections.
With ourselves,
So,
as
and
well. I think.
yeah, number
Number
one,
one. Yeah.
number one, right? And
Yep.
I try to work on that every night with myself. A couple nights ago, I had this little insecure thought, and instead of saying, "Oh no, I'll push that away, like that's not me," da 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 da, we can do. And I was like, "Oh, hello, oh hi,
Mm.
how are you?
Mm-hmm.
What do you need to tell me? What's going on here?" Right?
Mm.
Know thyself. I had built a relationship with that little part of me, that facet of me, that thought, and made friends with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It was just gone after that.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Totally.
wanted to be seen and heard. Yeah.
Totally.
Hi, Jennifer.
What's up, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I like what you said, because I feel like, obviously I love having these kinds of deep conversations and
Yeah.
contemplating what is this and what is this and why am I here,
Yeah.
right? And I know a lot of the answers, and I'm grateful for those conversations and that inquisitive nature, right? And then it's like, okay, now I'm going to get to this whole like stages thing, but now I'm aware of what's a 3D being versus, a non-physical being in these different realms, and how do I balance that existence, and how do I, like, it's so complex. And then it's like, oh, the sink is still full of dishes. I still got to go do the dishes. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I still got to do the laundry, but now I can kind of smile about it, right? I can be like, "Oh, I get to do the dishes. I get to do the laundry. It's a
Yes.
privilege, even though it's still a chore." It's just a way to kind of be able to see it that way. And I've also seen this a couple of times recently about awakening, right? And the different kind of phases of it. It's like, first there's like, you realize that there's this actor, right? And that is playing
Yeah.
the part, and that,
Yeah.
oh, I'm the actor. And then you realize, wait a second, I'm also the director. I can tell that actor what I want him to do and where I want him to go and how I want this story to play out. And then there's the third one, which is like, you are the whole story. You know what I mean? Like, you are
Yeah.
all of the actors in the story. You are the story. And
Yes.
it's such a cool way to look at it, and kind of be like, okay, I'm cool with where I'm at in that,
Right.
in those phases. You know what I mean? It's like, because it's always the journey. There is no destination.
Exactly.
It's the journey. The journey is what it's like. And that's what I've been
Yeah.
feeling like lately, not to say this again because I say it week after week ever since it happened, but the whole Costa Rica experience and being able to kind of navigate that and come out of that experience like I just created my own reality. I just had the best week I had in a very long time because I went into that week intending to have the best week. I didn't know how crazy it was going to get, you know what I mean, and all the things that were going to happen, but I definitely went into that week with the intention of like, this is going to be transforming. This is gonna show me something about myself, you know what I mean, about life and about reality, you know.
Yes.
And it did, you know.
Absolutely. Travel is, on the list of what I would call like triggers of awakening. And travel is one of them because you're in a different atmosphere, you're having a different experience. And so um, your normal experiential self kind of is like, whoa, you're not in
Mhm.
in your normal flow,
Right,
right? So you're in
right.
this other place. So other parts are kind of like, what's going on here? What's going on here? So kind of it gives an opportunity for that to happen. And so that's super cool that that happened for you and you felt it because you've come into alignment too. And what
Mhm.
I would say with the actor, the director, and the whole play itself, which is all very, very true and accurate too, is you're the best director you can be when you get to know all the actors that
Mhm.
are playing there,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Right. And so there's a
Absolutely.
lot of actors we haven't met yet that are, in the behind the scenes.
Yep.
And we got to go behind the scenes, see who's backstage, get
Yeah.
to know them, appreciate them, say, hey, you matter too. Like, oh, you're working on lighting, you're working on props, you're doing
Mhm.
this, you're doing that. You're
Yep. Yep.
appreciate all of them folk, and life will be a lot happier. You'll be one happy director.
Totally. 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 And
Hi everybody. I see you in the comments. So hi,
yeah,
I love
so many
you.
great people here. And Maria says, I noticed since I came back, opportunities are opening up. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's cool? It was like,
Yeah.
I think it was even before, a couple of weeks before that trip, or maybe a month or two, I had mentioned, I think, on the show that I had felt like I reached this new level of being in that experiences I was having, moments that I was having. It wasn't like a constant thing, but moments that I was having, conversations and opportunities that were coming my way. I was experiencing them physically. I was experiencing them emotionally and intellectually, but also energetically. Like my skin was crawling, like little goosebumps, and just this energetic feel of a chill of whatever was being discussed at that moment, whatever was happening at that moment, had another level of significance to it. You know, I'm just looking here. Yeah, I needed to hear
Oh,
that.
sorry, I was muted. I was saying, like, so you had like the spirit chills, the validation of the spirit chills, and we'll also get like little nose rubs and sneezes of truths too.
Hmm.
But when you
Hmm.
get all those tingles and vibration, a lot of that's Kundalini energy. So your whole energetic system's starting to come online and wake up and move energy and all of that, and that's going to
Yeah,
create more expansion. And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
people go, why am I getting all these weird little zaps
yeah.
and tingles and vibrations? Like, oh,
Totally. And
there
that,
you go.
totally. And you're reminding me
Mm.
that this happened with breath work. It was very, very intense. But even before the breath work experience, I'm even going to go back to the couple of months before I went away and I started experiencing stuff energetically. I'm thinking about a specific moment, a conversation that I had with Cody Snyder, who has a studio in North Carolina and an amazing, amazing podcast called Acid for Squares. And I've been watching him just, they have had Daryl Anka Bashar on the show. They've had these incredible, incredible guests. And I've just been watching them and being a fan. And they were out in LA. They're moving to North Carolina, and we were talking about me coming and being involved with the show, producing the show, and helping them out with the show. And in this conversation, like you said, this Kundalini energy. I mean, I was pacing around my house, talking and feeling the excitement of the possibilities that we were talking about. Right, we were discussing one of infinite possibilities very specifically and very intentionally and very energetically, and I was feeling that. And then I noticed like my body, like I was just like excited, so I started like doing these movements like involuntarily.
Oh yeah.
and
Oh
and
yeah.
and now when I did the breath work in Costa Rica, that was one of the things. It was much more intense movements, right? But it was like I was out of my body, watching my body do the movements. So I wasn't in control, but I was also
Mhm.
in my body, feeling my body do the movements.
Yep.
It was such an amazing experience and an amazing connection of the moment, and that's what I'm talking about, that level of energetic experience,
Mhm.
experiencing something energetically.
Yeah. I'm not surprised, especially doing breath work, because you're connecting literally with the breath of spirit and you're moving energy and all that. But it's all very common. People go into spontaneous yoga poses, mudras, their heads start spinning.
Mhm.
I was doing infinity signs for hours. I mean, I still do it
Oh yeah.
sometimes when I go into channeling. You'll see me just kind of start, and I'll notice people will start doing this when they're like mediums. I'll see them, on TV or something, and
Mhm,
they'll just
mhm,
start kind of doing this. And I'm like, it's little things you spot. But yeah, you wake up at 3 in the morning and you're like, why am I going into yoga poses and why am I doing these mudras? I've never even studied that. And it's super, super common that happens. And then your head starts kind of like stretching, and you realize your vertebrae are starting to kind of like move. And it's
mhm,
almost like they're getting your spine in alignment too. So it's really quite interesting. And people do a lot of like very rhythmic dancing, especially the women, because they're kind of moving into that goddess energy as they get into their lower chakras there, right?
mhm,
And so it's like
mhm,
you
mhm.
sort of break out into sort of that goddess dancing, and it's very movement like this, kind of
Totally.
thing too. Yeah,
Mm.
super cool.
It's incredible, yeah, and
Mhm.
so let's bring the conversation about now
Okay.
to a bigger context, meaning I'm hesitating to use this word, but the shift, right? Meaning
Okay.
this moment of humanity having this obvious moment where many people are starting to have awareness or experience things that might be considered weird, right? Like spontaneous movements, like
Hmm.
like light language. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm having this conversation with this woman, Linda. She was just kind of brought into my circle through another friend, Lynn, um, and she recently they do a lot of Akashic Records workshops. Lynn is a very
Hmm.
powerful trans medium, and opens a lot of people. And so this woman Linda recently started doing talking light language, and doing things like that. And I just met her, and I just recently watched some of her videos, and it was explained to me that she starts talking in these languages that are actual languages, like ancient languages that are known, and they can be translated. So there are people who know these languages that are actually translating some of the things she's saying. She also said that
Wow. Wow.
when she was a kid, she remembers feeling like she could speak other languages like French and other like human languages, and she would go around the house and her parents thought she was like pretending, but now as an older woman she's like, nope, I was actually speaking these languages. Um but it's amazing to me that so many people are coming into this moment, right, in their own life. Like, she's an older woman, she's never experienced anything like this or done anything like this. I turned on one of her videos, and she is speaking light language, and I haven't seen this, and bawling. I mean, she is like, as an empath, you know what I mean? I know what you'd experience it the same way I would, watching it, because you're feeling
Oh
this
yeah.
experience, you're feeling this moment, you're feeling this energy. What are your thoughts about this moment in humanity, this now, and the significance of it, and your experience with it? Do you have any stories of people that are like popping into these incredible experiences?
Well, I love that story, and what's fascinating with her too is because it's verifiable that she's actually speaking other languages that you know, validate
That's
for
right.
sure. Like that becomes extra fascinating for me to hear that. And that's
Mhm.
it isn't uncommon too in people's awakening that all of a sudden they're like, why am I channeling these weird random words and sounds and things like that? A lot of times it goes away after a while, but
Mhm.
that's a little bit different from, you know, light language, but it's kind of similar too. But that fascinates me by the way that she does that. So that's super cool. Um, you know, we've been in this shift for a long time. I feel like we're just starting to really feel it kind of rev up, it's gone another notch. And, you know, we're coming into this age of Aquarius. And so what I'm seeing is there's the feminine is really starting to rise.
Mhm.
And it's rising into its, you know, we're coming into our bigness, you know, and that's a thing. And I'm seeing that happen a lot.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's that's happening a lot as we're rising and coming. And then so it's going to change the dynamic of, you know, the interplay of the masculine and the feminine energies with that too.
Mhm.
And big shift this year, you know, astrologically, I'm not an astrologer, but, you know, after having Danny on Monday, it's kind of sounds like it's going to stay pretty intense the next few months. And he was saying, do things like your dishes, like you were doing,
Mhm.
stay
Mhm.
grounded
Mhm.
through it
Mhm.
all. And try to stay calm and stay here, stay present, grounded, and doing your day-to-day activities, and be kind. Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it's hard right now. I was pretty cranky this week. You know, I was having a difficult time because I'm tuned into the collective. You know, and
Mhm.
it's like
Mhm.
I can do my thing and I can transmute and stuff. But I was very happy with my meditation this morning because I did my and then so spirit came in and like made us all feel so much better. Like, oh, thank
Good.
you, God, thank you.
Yeah, 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 good.
I was like,
I
oh,
feel what you're
oh,
saying. It's been energetically, it's been
heavy, heavy.
very,
Yeah,
very heavy.
it's a whole
Yeah,
nother thing. Yeah,
yeah,
something's happening. People are cranky, fearful, angry,
yeah,
irritable, having sleep disturbances, weird dreams. I had weird dreams last night too. So
yeah,
we're all being affected by it right now too.
yeah,
So it's like
yeah,
it's good we talk about it just because it's right now, the now, and
yeah,
everybody here who's watching is probably feeling it too. Everywhere I go, whether you're spiritual or not, they're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
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 And it's
Yeah.
interesting to me too. I was
Mhm.
thinking about it today, right? Like there's a part of me that I think has been conditioned, right, from
Yeah.
the algorithm and from the technology and the way that we interact with information, all of that in media, that there's a part of me that, you know, I see a story and I'm like, oh, it triggers some sort of emotion in me, and I start to let it in. And I go with the emotion. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. This is bad. You know, oh, these people, these poor people, they don't understand, or whatever my perspective is. But again, grateful and humble for my perspective of everybody's perspective is okay. It's okay to not have the same
Right.
perspective, right? And
Right.
we've spoken to this even about even the same perspective as I won't get specific, evil, right? Like you know, even to be okay with that perspective, not to take on that perspective or
Right.
act on that perspective, but to be like, okay, it exists, right? And
Right.
just acknowledge it. um yeah, it's hard right now, definitely feeling
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. See, there
um
we are.
yeah, but again,
Yeah.
here we are, you and I, creating our own
Yeah.
reality, right? We, you know, we
Yeah.
normally don't talk about that stuff, and the
Yeah.
reason I'm even bringing it up is because we don't want to ignore that stuff. It's there. We know it's there. You know what I mean? And I think it's important to know it's there. And it is even important to keep an eye on it, right? Also important to not let it suck you in, right? Because
Yeah, it's a balance, but sometimes it's hard because like we're sensitive. I'm very, very sensitive. I'm, you know, and like I
yeah,
was talking to Lynn last night and she's like, oh, poor Jennifer, she knows how sensitive I am, you know, and I'm just like, I just want to crawl and hide right now.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
just a lot. That's a lot. So thank God I'm better today. But sometimes when we just discuss it too, we get it out. Like we get that stuck energy out and moving because we're all kind of like feeling it, you know, like, do we talk about it? Do we not talk about it? Is it okay? Is it not? You know, kind of thing. And sometimes we just get it out and then it makes room for something new to come in. Like, okay, now we can fill that space with some more love and positivity. I did the message that came through this morning when I was doing my meditation from spirit was all about hope. It was like keeping hope alive. They're like, hope is not dead. That was the theme. It was hope. It's like it's still within you. It's yeah, I'm getting chills as I say that right now. So that seems to be what they're saying. Don't lose hope, guys. Don't lose it. There's always the calm after the storm. And I do feel like that calm is coming. And I do feel like we're going to be entering into like a renaissance period, you know, the arts, music, creativity, like this
Yeah,
is like
yeah,
what
yeah.
we're going to be moving into, right? Which
Absolutely.
is also
Yeah.
more feminine too, like as
Yeah.
well. So it's
Yeah.
like when we allow the kind of like the feminine to rise, you know, both subconsciously into our human being and our conscious being, but also within like the collective energies as well, we're going to see this, you know, resurgence of, you know, art, music,
I
philosophy,
agree so much. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
poetry, mediumship,
Yeah.
healing. And there's just, it's like within the next couple of years,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I yeah, no, totally. I love what you're saying, and I kind of feel like even in regards to like I didn't want to use the word "this shift," right? Because I feel like it's not something that's coming, it's not something that's happens. I think that it's something that we are. And
yes.
I think that especially this community, right? This community of people, I think what you're saying about hope, like we are the harbingers of hope right now, you know,
Yeah.
because there's so much resistance to that hope. You know what I mean? People are just like so easily coerced into civil war or you know, I don't even want to say the words out loud, the things that, you know, the things that people say. You know, I love the fact that it even just bothered me just now to say that word out loud, to say it out loud, right? Because I know that that just validates where my frequency is, you know, what I'm in tune with and what I'm not in tune with. But again, I have to give those people the right to feel that way, right? And I have to get and almost like it's not even like the right, it's almost like compassion. It's almost like, you know, oh man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry
Yeah.
that you feel that way and you see it that way, you know. You know, uh,
One of the reasons why they're moving into the kind of violent dark type with that too, because it's kind of like warrior archetype gone, you know, gone on steroids, right? That too,
mhm,
with like wanting to do with war and things like that, is because they're feeling very unsafe,
mhm,
and so the only thing they know how to protect their, you know, identity and their core being of even the little inner child within them is to kind of move into some kind of protective, you know, darker archetype that is that way, and then they identify with it, right? They become
mhm,
totally identify with it, like you said, don't get sucked into it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, we can still embrace, you know, a warrior archetype and do it in a peaceful way, you know, be, you know, warriors of peace and warriors of love, warriors of self-empowerment, and you know, having healthy boundaries and things like that. Yes, what Kelly just said.
I
To
love that.
um,
That makes me feel so
and
good about, you know, what
right,
I'm doing, you know, and I'm not even doing it
yeah,
for that reason, you know what I mean? I'm just being love. I'm just trying to be love, you
right,
know what I mean?
right,
And
yeah,
I do think that makes sense what
love
Kelly.
warrior. There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah, you
Right,
know, I
you
mean,
know,
love is a powerful frequency to align with. So, you
right.
know, for me, I feel
And
like
is there ever a time where it is okay for, you know, a group of people to stand up for themselves too, you know, and like how do you do it? I think of Gandhi and how he used peaceful protest
mhm,
to do
mhm,
what he did. Like that was effing amazing. Like, oh my
sure,
gosh, like we could learn a lot from him, right?
sure, sure,
And
sure.
and Danny Santos was bringing up, and I'm not too familiar with the story, but there was some kind of freedom liberation movement over in Nepal, and like the
Mhm,
Nepalese people like all stood up, and you know that's not on the news, right? And
mhm,
that was
mhm.
my first time hearing it because
Yep,
I honestly don't watch a lot of news, and you know,
yep, yep.
so
I
so
poke into
there's
those, I poke into that,
yeah,
and I do see that,
yeah,
and I do believe that there is that makes sense, right? I don't wanna look at it
yeah,
like a revolution, right? But it is gonna be the
yeah,
unity of the people against this
right,
this kind of governing force. I don't even want to say the government or any political party, right? It's just the idea of the systems that are in place, the
Right,
systems that are in place, the idea of them to be in place to control. That's what the people need to
right,
stand up against. And I think that will happen, and I don't think it's going
right.
to be bloody or like this horrible thing. I think it's going to be, like I said, the shift, quote unquote. We are that, right? So
I think you're right, and it feels probably very, if there's something very energetic about it too, like almost like just watch and see what happens as you all are focusing your energy and your love, and then also helping where you can, getting involved where you can in some kind of way,
right,
like for me, it's my, my charity work that I do, so I find a way to get involved that way too. And I think it is okay for us to say like this this is wrong, or this could be better, or we could do better,
right,
because if we can take the perspective, yes, all is connected, and it is. I'm given proof of that every day by spirit, that it's all connected, the divine
hmm
synchronicity of it.
hmm
But I don't think that spirit meant, so you don't have to care, you don't have to do anything, just blah, just I think it means we still care, we still get involved, because we actively involved in evolving that
right,
synchronicity, evolving the divine order. So I think it's okay to say, hey, like the way children are treated in this world is not good in a lot of
right,
places. Like we can do better. Like we
right,
can do better the way we treat our children. We can do better the way we treat our elderly. We can do better the way we treat our homeless, right?
hmm
We
hmm
can do better. And that's going to evolve humanity. And it's okay to talk about these things, but maybe not in the rigidity of, now we're making somebody else the enemy and it's these horrible people now
right,
that we have to do something about. It's like, no, we can hold on to our grace grella. All you need is love. Hold on to the
hmm
grace and the power of love within you,
hmm
and help
right,
do better, whether it's
right,
spreading information, whether it's actively getting involved somewhere, charitable work, something,
right,
finding a little piece of your time for something to put that energy in
totally.
to making it better. Yeah.
Right, right,
Thank you.
and yeah, no, that's it. I love that you're getting these thoughts
Uh,
out, and
yeah,
that again, that shift to me is a shift in perspective. It's a shift in the way that you look at things, and to me, the attitude, the system that's in place is kind of like, not, I wouldn't say every man for himself, right? There's a couple of different attitudes, right? Every man, this came up the other day, right? And it was split into two, but now I'm kind of seeing some different shades of that,
yeah,
which is every man for himself, or we're all in this together, right? And that's almost like good versus evil, right? um but even with that, as I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, the big issue I see is the idea that when presented with anything, the idea that you're also presented with is, which side are you on of this thing that I'm presenting you, right? Pick a side.
yeah.
Which side are you on? You have to believe in one or the other. And it's like both, and I think we talked about this too, like both of
It
those things,
can
both
be
can
true.
exist. Both
Yeah,
can be true, and
yeah,
and both are true, and need to be true, and need to accept each other, and
right,
allow each other to exist, you know.
right.
Um
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think,
Exactly.
so another thing I think that's important too, that I know you and I know, and I think we kind of take it for granted, that can always be said, is the self-love aspect of it, right? Like that's where it starts. And I think the important thing right now is this distraction of, here's a situation, which side are you on, is taking everybody away from taking inventory within themselves and who they are and how they treat other people. Because when you're told to pick another side, like, you're not even thinking about how you're treating another person by saying, hey, screw you, you're wrong, or like, you're such an idiot. Like, that is
Mhm.
your
It's
essence.
not it's not core authenticity. It is moving into, what I might call your weapons of protection or your costumes
Mhm.
of protection, because now you've gone into contempt, right? You've gone into contempt where you're getting very highly judgmental. So there is a way to say, you know, this could be better, or this isn't right, let's make it better, without going into contempt and violence and all of that too. So we just have to be careful that we're using protective mechanisms in a healthy way too. And spiritual principles are not meant to, bypass kindness and respect and reverence for each other, right? They're meant to make us more human, kinder, more accountable for our actions,
Right.
more personally responsible, right? Too. So the tribalism then kind of, creates a separation, and it's a theme. It's a theme on the stage of life, right? But
Sure.
there is another stage where we're like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
we could do better.
I mean,
Like,
listen, we could
not
take
better than, but just
we could take a clue from
evolve.
ants, ants who all work together
Yeah.
as a community to, to exist, many things like
Hmm.
that. I mean, we know
Yeah.
we know that stuff exists. We know it can
And
be.
every ant matters, right? Now let's look at Sacred Spiral, what Kelly, our producer, has created too. It literally is the hub of loving connection. It's become a very safe space for our community
Mhm,
to come to and feel loved and
mhm,
seen and heard. And it's very interactive. And everybody who's joined is a very like kind, loving, good person,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And you can see it, like you can feel it, and it just there's a reason why it's growing the way it is.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
because of that love and what Kelly has created, and it's like spiraling out, literally a sacred spiral of love, and that's
I
what's
love it.
happening. So you can see what love in action does.
Yeah.
It it grows, it
Yeah.
evolves, it
Mhm.
multiplies. Love multiplies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to say, again, I think for me, my uh metaphysical gift, right, is just kind of like ideas
Yeah.
and essence, right? And for me, taking inventory of who I was and how I treated other people, really affected my life, and only in good ways, right? It made it so much easier for me to navigate and exist. And somebody said it earlier, like opportunities just start kind of opening up for you because you're putting yourself in that state or that frequency of, acceptance and love and giving and being in the flow, like not resistance to, oh my god, it's raining out, you know what I mean? Like some people, like it's raining out and they wake up and they're like, oh my god, and their day is ruined and they can't function the way they can on a sunny day because of this external circumstance, you know what I mean? It's like, so taking stock of how I responded to people, how I responded to everything, and then being able to address that with intention, you know what I mean, to fix it and make it better, it just made my
Yeah.
life easier, you know what I mean? And now I feel like I can start to spread that and help other people understand how easy it was to do. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it seems so elusive to so many people because of the system, right? Waking up and having to go to work, the hamster wheel. A good friend of mine called it the hamster wheel. You wake up, you get on the hamster wheel, but then you're exhausted. You go to bed because you just got off the hamster wheel and you're just too tired
Sure.
to do anything else. You wake up and you get back on, and then
It's like
20
Groundhog Day.
years have gone by. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like
Yeah, it's like Groundhog Day, which totally matches what I'm going to read for you later too.
awesome, awesome,
But
awesome.
but yeah, what I'd like to offer to what you just said is I've been saying this phrase a lot recently called like I can do hard things, you can do hard things, we can do hard things, and I think that and it started to stick because now my friends and stuff are coming to me and they're like, I can do hard things, Jennifer. I just did this because I remember what you said. I can do hard things, and people are coming to back and giving me feedback, and so it's like it's more spreading things. So if we can find ways to step out of our comfort zone, little things at a time, and we talked about this on the last show, that way a rainy day isn't going to throw us off our game because we have to keep challenging ourselves. Life, if we just like want life easy and comfortable all the time,
Mhm,
the universe will smack you down with hard things. If
mhm,
you take it upon yourself. Sorry, but hey, that's how God rolls, right? You take
Yeah.
it upon yourself to take some responsibility. I can do hard things. I'm going to stretch myself. I'm going to push myself a little bit. I'm going to do this a little bit more. It's a little uncomfortable, but you try, right? And you keep kind of pushing. You are gifted. Yes, you are.
Thank you.
And I think that will help. And the other thing I wanted to say too is, like, we have these big concepts of our infinite expression, and how, like, we're limitless, right? And then we want to become so unconditionally loving, right? And that's my MO, is love. I'm like the love person. Everybody knows me right that way too. But what I'd like to share, if this might help people, especially because we have a lot of women on here too, is it's like, um non-judgmental does not mean you have no boundaries, and you don't, you can still have good discernment.
Of
You
course.
can be non-judgmental and still have good discernment, and still have boundaries, and still have limits to which is good for you and your energy and your being, because you've cultivated that self-love for yourself too, which is, I feel like, kind of mirroring what you're talking about, right? And so we learn over time to cultivate these things, and those are healthy things, those are positive things too, if that makes sense too.
Yeah.
So it's okay to, there's and Suri's really good with this too. If you ever have her back on, to have her do polarity mapping with you, because you can
Okay.
take any concept and do
I'm gonna write it
the
down.
what's bad about it and what's good about it, and she makes a
Uh-huh.
whole map about it, and you see how they alchemize together, right? Too. So it's like, limits could have a dark side, but limits could also have a bright side
Yeah.
too, because you know who you are, and you know what your standards are in life, and you're expecting that to be reflected back onto you, because of the love that you are, and the love that you're giving to the other people or
Totally.
persons as a group, right? You're giving
Totally.
that same reverence and respect, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there's a reciprocity to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's like cultivating the authenticity when you're moving with that. It's
A
not
million
easy. It's
percent.
it's a little bit challenging, but
Yeah.
we can
No,
all
but
do it together.
1,000,000%. And I think that
Mhm.
it feeds itself, right? When you start to feel that feedback, and you're like, oh, wait a second. I didn't really, all I did was be me and be true,
Mhm.
and look at the response I got. Let me do more of that, right? Let me be more of myself. And I think, Suri is a great example of somebody who I just love speaking to so much, because
Yeah.
she's made that exact thing, polarity mapping, what you're talking about. She's taken that concept and made it a part of her essence, to the point that when you're talking to her, that's the filter it's going through, right? So
Right.
she's processing everything through that, so that she could be a feedback, she could be the mirror of that to you. And then so many times she'll say something to me in a response to something I've said, and I'm just like, holy crap, like,
I know. I love her. I know.
so brilliant, like,
I love
oh,
Suri. Yeah, she's my girl.
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
so
and
yeah,
and
yeah,
and again, that's, I mean, I know this is the live stream of consciousness, kind of sister brother to the Sacred Spiral Network, let's just say that. But that's what's being cultivated there. And the guests that you have, the guests that Suri has, like, I can't wait to reach out and talk to them, because the conversations they resonate so powerfully. As I'm watching them, I'm like, ooh, I want some of that. I want to have an energetic exchange with that person, so that
yeah.
that vibration will just grow, raising the vibration of
It
everything.
is that there is literally an exchange, and you get to keep it. You know what I mean? It's like you're planting seeds of selves into each other, of positive frequencies, and then you get to keep it, because then it becomes part of you. And
Yes.
how about that for interconnectivity? How about that for the
Amazing.
power of now? How about that for we're
Amazing,
all
right?
connected in the big one? Yeah.
Amazing. And actually, I was just reminded by Tim. I'm going to bring Tim's message up in a second, but I
Yeah.
had on Holding Space, Kelly Eckhart. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. On
man,
Tuesday.
what an amazing example of exactly everything that we're talking about, like the circumstances, the things that she's been through in life. You would think, like, she would be bitter and like this horrible person, and she's so full of love and light and radiance, because of all of the stuff that she
Yeah.
went through, and because of the way she chose to process it and to look at it and to take the light out of it instead of the dark
Yeah.
away from it. And Tim, the reason I'm even saying that, because Tim is another person like that. Tim is such an amazing, loving, beautiful person. And he got some bad news today about a tumor
Okay.
or small
Oh,
intestine.
Tim.
He's had these health issues his entire life, and like things like having his stomach removed, which I never even heard of, right? And just, man, what a beautiful soul he
I
is,
feel him.
with a beautiful wife and a beautiful son, and brings such beautiful light to the world. So Tim,
Yeah.
yes, we're all sending you love and positivity your way because of how much love you bring. That's not why we're doing it, because we love to do that anyway, but
Yeah.
you came to the right place to get that reflection back, for
I
sure.
feel, yeah, I
Yeah,
feel him too. You're
yeah.
very blessed. I just want to tell you that you're very blessed, Tim. So I'm pouring out all my heart to you
Mhm.
too. And but I know from spirit you are very blessed, and I know you know that. So thank you for staying such a kind, loving, positive person,
Yeah,
despite, really having some very difficult circumstances to face.
yeah,
Not to be, yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And
He's a
same
love
with,
warrior. Yeah, he's definitely a love
yeah,
warrior.
yes, absolutely. I love
Mm.
Warrior. I love you, Tim. Dude.
There
And
you go.
Kelly too, Kelly Eckhart. It's like, yeah, she came here for the big leagues, Like her
Oh my
soul
God.
is like, I'm gonna fill my bucket full of, let's do this and this and this
Right?
and this, and just do it all at
Right?
once.
And
Ooh,
if
I
you
was
and if you
sweating just listening to her.
if you
Ooh.
subscribe to the idea of like, okay, we're up there as a soul and we're signing up for this mission, I'm like, man, you signed up for the deluxe package. You just like, yeah, you're like, give me everything. I'll have everything.
Dolores Cannon, she talks about it like a bowl of marbles, and like the spirit, like soul's kind of like coming down, getting ready for the lifetime and filling up with marbles. And then the spirit guides are like, "Yeah, sure you want to put that many marbles in the bowl? Oh yeah, let's put more marbles." And you're like, and then they get here and they go, "No more marbles, no more marbles."
That's
Oh my
hysterical.
gosh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm giving you a big
totally.
hug.
Yes, and
Yeah.
let's send some love to Ninja Kitty, also, who's been here since day one, the anniversary of the passing of her mom.
God
Sending
bless you.
big love
Yeah.
out to Ninja Kitty, and
Uh,
thank you, Tim and Ninja Kitty, for those two have been watching the live stream of consciousness for 4 years. They have been here since day one, and again, I'm so blessed for them to keep me going, and for everybody here who's come to tune into this, whether you're coming from the Sacred Spiral Network or you just happen to trip across this show. If you did, please subscribe and share it with your friends who like this. We talk about love, we talk about intention, we talk about energy, and all of the things that we do have. What's the word I'm looking for? Not control. We have that's a word.
Grace.
We have grace over. We have uh it's it's
Empowerment.
empowerment, and it's not the right word. As there's one in there that I'm thinking of specifically. I don't know what it is. Uh but we have that over all of it. We are in
Capacity. We have
capacity.
the
We
capacity,
are in control, right? So
ability.
yeah, so
Yeah.
even when you say, well, what about things like cancer? I got cancer. I know some of the most amazing people who were miserable before they got cancer. And the cancer showed them something in their life about how amazing life is and how amazing they
Or
can be. And they become amazing people. So what is that? The cancer isn't
yeah,
a bad
it
thing.
can be a gift, it can be a teacher. And I want to say to Tim, you're very much connected with the angelic frequencies. So I just want to validate that for you. You probably
Awesome.
already know, but I just want to make sure you know that they're connected with you too. So that's something that you can
Awesome.
can tune into. They're like your family, if I may say. Your spiritual family is the angelic frequencies. For Ninja Kitty, also, your mom shows me this big, beautiful open rose, as a spiritual sign of her love for you too. And I just got chills with that as I did that. So there's
Ooh.
this very heartfelt love, that binds the two of you together for a lifetime. So, and beyond, I must say too. So I just want to make sure you know she is with you and she gives you her love, but it's just beautiful. It's this big, huge open rose with all of its petals. It's magnificent
I love it.
too. So,
I love
but
it.
it's sometimes the hardest crises make us want to live instead of just exist in this life, And it's like I had my health issue as well, and not nearly as bad as cancer. Mine was, anemia, but it was really, really bad. I was close to death's door, and I don't know how I was functioning, but it's because of spirit,
Mhm.
right? And but going through all that, and then going through the healing and the recovering process and all of that, I just like I want to live. I
Mhm.
want to live. Like
Mhm.
that's what happened to me,
Mhm.
It's like I want to
Mhm.
live. And sometimes dying makes you want to live, or close to dying makes you want to
Mhm.
live. It just does something to you.
Yeah.
And the near death experience as well. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, my love, too.
Yeah, awesome,
Mhm.
Jennifer. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being
Yeah,
available to me spontaneously for
yeah,
this. I know it's always going to be an amazing conversation and an amazing energy exchange,
yeah.
and
Thank
it's
you.
even better when there are people out there watching that say, "Oh, I needed that."
Yeah,
How much does that mean to you when we're just talking, you and me, we're
it
just
means
having a
everything.
conversation, and we just
It means
showed up?
everything.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
does.
my evening got canceled, your evening changed, we ended up together spontaneously. I got to give a couple of messages, to people who really deserved and needed it today. It's like God is working his magic, his. It's
The
so thank
universe working its magic. Everything is as it should be. You know what? I keep thinking
right.
about this, and it's probably going to happen. But the Bob Marley song, and Grace will relate to this. Everything's going to be all right. I feel like
No,
making a sequel to that song that is says
every little
everything
thing,
is all right.
yeah,
Everything is all right. It's
gonna
not
be
gonna
all
be all
right.
right.
I
That's
love that song. I love that song. I used to sing it all the time when I was younger. But could I read my little tiny little
yes.
thing
Let's
for you?
read it. Let's
It's
close
short.
with that.
Okay.
Awesome.
So
Let's read it.
you talked about the hamster wheel. So there is a movie called Before I Fall, and it's based on a teenage novel this teenage girl in high school who has goes through Groundhog Day. She keeps waking up to the same thing, and she keeps trying to change it because there's a horrible tragedy that happens right before she wakes up again, right? So
Mhm.
basically, there's like somebody dies and there's a big car wreck, and so she keeps trying to do things to change the ending, and then she finally realizes she doesn't have any power over the ending, and so she decides to live each day like even better than the one before, and becomes much more connected with her family, and just the world and her friends and love and everything, and so she starts making everything better and right too. And so
Mhm.
there's a little monologue that she says in the movie, and I'm sure it's in the book too, in the beginning and in the end. And she finally ends up giving her life to save another.
Mhm.
But she becomes fully self-actualized in the process too. So she says this: maybe for you there's a tomorrow. Maybe for you there's 1,000 or 3,000 or 10. So much time you can bathe in it. So much time you can waste it. But for some of us, there's only today. And what you do today matters in the moment and maybe into infinity.
Mm.
So there is more, but that's the main part of it
It's
too. And
beautiful.
so
It's
you wanted
beautiful.
to talk about now.
So
I
significant, so
I
significant,
thought of
right?
that.
Yeah, yeah, it really is significant, and I think, everything that we talk about, I think is so important, which is why I'm so grateful to be in the community that I am in, and to have the access to be like, "Oh my God, I have no guest, Jennifer, come on my show," and know, trust the universe that whatever we say is what the world needs. The world needs this vibration, and like I said, harbingers of hope, right? We're here to raise that vibration. All of the vibrations exist, but
Yes.
we choose to raise this vibration and share it.
Yes.
And amazing. That is beautiful, Stasia.
Mhm.
And amazing. Thank you so much for this moment.
Thank you
And
for inviting me and trusting me on your program, Michael. That means a lot to me. So it's like I get it. So thank you. Thank you for the
I
space and
you're
lots of love
welcome.
to all our friends here.
You're very welcome. It takes a village.
Indeed.
For sure.
Indeed
And,
it
and you
does.
and you guys out there are part of the village too. Thank you for being here. Um, Again, I've been so busy. I can't even tell you what's coming up, but I can tell you that I know it's going to be good. So no matter what's coming up, it's going to be good. It already is good. Thank you guys for
Yes, it
being
is.
here, and we'll see you soon. Be good to each other. Peace.
Bye, everyone.
This is the theme song for the live stream of consciousness. You gotta ask yourself whether reality is a dream or you are dream reality. We're all a part of the